All right, so today we're diving into Franz Kafka's The Trial.
Oh, a good one.
Yeah, taking a look at just the opening chapters to see how Kafka really pulls us into this world of uncertainty and
Yeah.
absurdity.
It's a world that I think continues to resonate with readers.
Yeah,
Even now, a century later,
that's
the trial, even unfinished, really gets at those themes of isolation and searching for meaning in a world that feels indifferent.
Yeah, and he does it right away.
Yes.
Like it starts with such a simple scene. Joseph K., just an average guy.
Right, a bank clerk.
Yeah, a bank clerk, wakes up on a seemingly normal day.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to breakfast even.
Yeah, totally normal.
And then suddenly he's under arrest.
Kafka doesn't even give those officials any kind of defining characteristics. It's just those black uniforms. So they're almost totally anonymous.
Like just a representation of any authority figure, really.
Exactly. It's as if the system itself has just shown up in Kay's bedroom to arrest him.
It's such a powerful way to start the novel.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're just thrown right into Kay's confusion.
Yes.
And you would be too, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you react if you were just having your morning coffee
Seriously.
and then suddenly you were being arrested with no explanation?
Exactly.
I think what makes it even more unsettling is that we're seeing everything through Kay's point of view. We're right there in his thoughts.
Yeah.
We see his attempts to rationalize what's happening.
Right.
And you feel his frustration, but just like, hey, we never get a clear reason for his arrest.
Right. It's like Kafka's playing with us from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
Because he sets up this totally normal world and then yanks it away.
Yeah.
And the reader is left feeling just as disoriented as Joseph K.
Yeah, and I think that disorientation is made even stronger by how Kay reacts at first.
Like when he tries to laugh it off.
Exactly. Like he thinks it's some kind of joke or a misunderstanding. He's clinging to logic, demanding to see their badges and warrants.
Right. All the things that you would expect.
Exactly. In a fair and rational system.
Yeah, but they never come, do they?
Never.
He's just drawn deeper and deeper into this system that feels like it's designed to keep him off balance.
Totally. And Kafka uses the setting of Kay's first interrogation to really emphasize that feeling.
Oh, how so?
So the room where the interrogation takes place is described as super cramped and overcrowded. And the whole proceeding is just chaotic.
Oh.
It's like the physical embodiment of the pressure and absurdity that's closing in on Kay.
It's interesting you say that because there's this one detail that always stands out to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kafka writes about how Kay gets weirdly fixated on one of the policeman's bellies.
Oh, right.
Like he describes it in this way that's both uncomfortably intimate, but also kind of repulsive.
Yeah.
Such a small detail, but it adds to that overall sense of unease.
Definitely. Like even the physicality of these officers is somehow off.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, Kafka was a master of using those kinds of small, specific details to create this feeling of unease in the reader. He doesn't tell us how to feel, he shows us.
Right.
And it allows the reader to really inhabit Kay's increasingly paranoid state of mind.
It's like he's trapped in a nightmare but can't wake up.
Exactly.
And then just when you think it can't get any weirder, Kafka introduces the usher's wife in chapter 3.
Oh, yeah. This is where that classic Kafka ambiguity comes in.
Right.
The usher's wife is this almost seductive figure. She exists outside the normal structure of the court.
And she claims she can influence the examining magistrate.
Right.
So there's this glimmer of hope for Kay.
Yeah, it's like she represents this temptation.
Totally like a shortcut in this system that you think you could never escape.
Exactly. But her real motives are never really clear, are they?
Right. Is she actually trying to help him, or is she just manipulating him?
Yeah, Kafka doesn't give us any easy answers.
Well, no, he doesn't.
It makes you question everything about her.
It's interesting because she eventually rejects Kay and picks the student instead.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be humiliating for Kay.
Yeah.
But it also kind of reveals something important, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Like it shows you how power works in this world.
Yeah, even in this seemingly unimportant interaction,
Right.
It's all about who has the power.
Yeah.
The usher's wife, even with all her supposed influence,
Right.
she's still stuck in the system, so she's looking out for herself first.
Yeah, and Kay is just another pawn to her.
Exactly. It's like even the people who seem like they could be allies can't really be trusted.
Right. Everyone has their own agenda.
Yeah, it just leaves Kay feeling even more alone and alienated.
And that feeling, that sense of being trapped
Mm-hmm.
in this absurd system where the rules make no sense.
Right.
And you're accused of something you don't even
And
understand.
you have no idea how to clear your name.
Exactly. That's what we mean when we say something is Kafkaesque.
Yeah, and it's not just a literary term.
Right.
It's a feeling that people still relate to today.
Like when you're stuck on hold with customer service.
Or dealing with endless paperwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that dehumanizing feeling of bureaucracy.
Right. Kafka really understood that feeling.
Yeah, he really tapped into something universal.
It's the struggle to find meaning
Mhm.
in a world that doesn't seem to care about you.
And Kafka pushes that feeling to the limit in the trial.
Yeah, like later on when Kay just loses it in the courtroom.
And runs out.
Yeah, and then there's that strange story about the usher's wife's supposed affair.
It's like Kafka's throwing all these random events at us on purpose. It just adds to that disorientation.
Right, and it mirrors what's happening to Kay.
Like he's losing his grip on reality.
Exactly.
And that's what makes the trial so powerful.
It's that disorientation, that feeling of being lost in a world without logic or reason.
Right.
Kafka forces us to confront the absurdity of it all, the limits of our own understanding.
It makes you wonder if there are even any answers out there.
Right. Maybe there are only more questions.
It's like trying to find your way out of a maze that's constantly changing shape.
Right. And just when you think you're getting somewhere,
Yeah.
Kafka throws in another twist.
And to make it even more unsettling, he never actually finishes the story.
I know.
So we never find out what happens to Joseph K.
Right. We never learn what the verdict is in his trial.
Such a Kafka move.
Right, totally. And it's one of the most talked about aspects of the book.
Yeah, I bet, because some people must find it really frustrating.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But personally, I think it's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because by not giving us that resolution,
Right.
Kafka forces us, the readers, to really grapple with the questions the book raises.
Like, what exactly is justice?
Exactly.
And is there ever really a final answer?
Right. Is there really any such thing as a definitive verdict?
Especially in a world that feels so random and unfair.
It becomes less about this one man's fate.
Yeah.
And more about all of us.
Right, those times when you feel lost and confused.
Yeah, like you're caught in a system where you don't understand the rules.
And you're being judged by them anyway.
Exactly. Kafka leaves us with this feeling that the trial never really ends.
Oh, wow.
You know, even if Kay had been found not guilty,
Right.
I think the experience itself would stay with him forever.
Like it's the process that really gets to you.
Yes. Regardless of the outcome.
The experience itself is the punishment.
You got it. That's such a great point.
Thanks.
I think that gets to the core of what Kafka was trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not just about the legal system or anything.
It's about any kind of power structure.
Exactly. Anything that tries to control you or define you.
And that feeling of powerlessness,
Yes,
you know?
totally. The struggle to find meaning in a world that often feels indifferent.
Or even hostile.
Yeah. Those themes are just as relevant today as they were back then.
I know, it's making me think about all those times I felt stuck.
Tell me about it.
Like battling bureaucracy or dealing with a company that just doesn't care.
Kafka really captured that feeling of helplessness.
He did, and he does it so well.
I know, it's incredible how he uses language.
Yeah.
His sentences are so precise, almost clinical, but at the same time, there's this dreamlike quality.
Right. It's like the line between reality and nightmare is blurred.
Exactly.
I think that's what makes the trial so unforgettable.
Yeah, you never really shake it off.
It's unsettling and thought-provoking, and it sticks with you long after you've finished it.
Definitely. So if you haven't read it,
Or if it's in a while.
definitely add it to your list.
Because The Trial is one of those books that will make you question everything.
Absolutely. About the world and maybe even yourself.
Maybe the most unsettling question Kafka asks is,
Yeah.
what would your trial look like?
Ooh, that's a good one to end on.
I think so.
Makes you think?
Thanks for diving into The Trial with me.
Anytime. Always a pleasure to talk Kafka.